Hi everyone, Stacy Holman with the Crafty Nook LLC. In today's video, I'm going to show you the pros and cons to using this tool. It's a punch needle tool, adjustable punch needle tool, and it's for punch needle work. So I did do a project with it already, and it was my very first project, so I'm very new to this craft. But it is so much fun, so relaxing, so addicting. But there are also a few things that I have learned along the way, and also doing some research. Okay, so here is my project, my first project I did. Okay, it's a butterfly. So this was my working side, and then this is the front. Totally messed up on it. I mean, it looks all right. It looks like the picture on this side. Whoops. Other than the stragglies. So it looks more like the picture on this side than this side. But I wanted my front to be this side. So what I've learned with punch needle work is that you can either have the smooth side or you can have the loops as the front. I like texture, okay, so I wanted the loops to be my front. So I think I'm always going to have this as my front side, as my front piece. Anyway, that was my first project. Okay, so for my next project, for this video, I have a bee. I love bees. Okay, and I got this kit and these projects from Hobby Lobby. That's my jam. Hobby Lobby is my jam. Okay. Oh, I lost a needle. Anyway, so in this kit, there is a threader down here. You can see it right there. There's a threader. 4 different size needles. One fell in the box. And then you also have the adjustable tool. So, yes, all of this comes in the kit. You do have to buy this is separate. Okay, get my other needle out. So with many punch needle tools, you just have the needle part. This is the spool that you can put the yarn around, whichever color you're using, whichever color yarn or embroidery floss or thread you're using, you put around here, and then you put the rest through the tool, and then it comes out down here, and you have to put it through the needle. And I'll demonstrate all that in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and open my project and get out a piece of thread, and I'm going to show you how to thread this fun piece. And I'm also going to show you what I like and don't like about it. So wherever I'm starting, let me see, where do I want to start on my bumblebee? Where do I want to start? So I'll start on his face. I'll start with his face. And his face is the color black. So this is how I found, this is the easiest way to separate my thread, my embroidery floss. Why can't I talk today? I don't know. So I'm going to pull out the color I need. I'm using black. And then I'm going to hold, you hold the black with one hand, you hold the other end with the other hand, all the thread, and then you just pull the black out, or whatever color you're using. That easy. All right, so this I'm going to put to the side. All right, so now I need to pick the size needle I want to use. This all depends on the size hole, the size holes that your fabric has, whatever fabric you're using. The holes on this are they're pretty small, but I also need to accommodate for the size thread, embroidery floss, or yarn I'm using. So I don't want it to get snagged because I want even tension throughout my project. So I don't want it to get caught up on anything. I don't want it to get stuck on anything. So these are the sizes. Okay, so there's different size needles. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing. All right. We have the largest and then the smallest, and then a couple of sizes in between, and also the holes are different sizes as well. So on my last project, which is similar to this one, I used the second largest. Okay, I used the second largest, which is color-coded yellow. So the rest I'm going to put in here. So there's a cartridge inside. You can see it sticking up here. So what you're going to do is take off the spool, put that to the side, and then there's a lever here, and there's different notches. So you're going to push in that blue, and you're going to adjust it, and it adjusts the needle down here. So to take it out, you're going to push it all the way up to that notch, and then keep pushing. Oh, and there you go. So this is the inner cartridge. This is how you're going to install your needle and also your thread. So, all right, I have my black needle, my black thread, floss, my cartridge, and my needle. How you're going to put your cartridge in, there's a hole down here. So you're just going to twist and push. You're going to twist and push. This is what I don't like about this tool. I don't know what the other needle punch tools are like when it comes to, if they come with different needles, different size needles. I don't know. All I know is that this one, it hurts my fingers a little bit. So push and twist. So that's one thing I don't like about this tool. And then I'm going to get my threader. All right, and this is the thread, the threader. So you're going to put this up through the needle, and this is sharp. I've caught my finger on it a few times. Okay, and you can see it coming out here. So now you're going to put your floss through the threader. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to bring it up a little bit closer to my face. All right, leaving a tail on it because you have to pull it through. You have to pull it through, and it's going to come out the other end. All right, then we're going to put it back in the main the main cartridge here. So with the blue facing the same way as the front, just gonna stick it in like so. Make sure it's coming out there. And then you're gonna push this to push it down. And there's the needle and the floss. Okay? And then the rest is just coming out the top. Now we have to put the thread, put the floss through that hole in the front. So all we're gonna do, actually this where it's longer here, that's the back of the needle. Where it comes up like so, that is the front, and I'll show you in just a moment. So we're going to put the threader in the back. Okay, it's going to come out the other side. The thread is then going to be put into the threader. Oh, sorry. All right, come through, and then we're going to pull the floss through. So again, my thread is too long, so I'm just going to, oops, I'm wrapped. Pull it up a little bit. So now, where the thread is coming, the floss is coming out of, that is the back. So when you're needle punching, there's always going to be the tail. The tail is always going to be behind, okay? As far as the spool goes, if you want to use this, you're going to wrap the thread around the spool, tucking in the end because you don't want it to unravel. You're gonna do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I'm just wrapping it around the spool. And actually, you're gonna do this before because you don't want to risk pulling out the thread that I already have. I'm just showing you, I don't use the spool, and there's a reason behind that. Okay, so here's the spool. You're just going to reattach it. Okay, and then as you're working on it, working the thread, the spool will turn and this will unravel, you know, as you're going. I don't use the spool. Why don't I use the spool? Because if your tension is off during your needlework, it could be the spool. The spool is getting stuck somewhere, or you know the flosses or whatever you're using is getting, it's the spool is not turning, it's not releasing the thread. So then the thread's going to get stuck, and I just have it free flowing like this. And all the other punch needles, this is how it's going to look. I like to have control over my tension as much as possible, so I'm just going to let it freely go. So that's another thing I don't like about this, but an easy fix is just letting it hang free. What I do like about it is that it's adjustable, and it comes with 4 different size needles. So with working on a hoop, there's a dial up here. To loosen it up, you're just going to turn this, okay? It loosens up. You see that? Pop out the other hoop. So now I'm going to take the small hoop, lay that down and then lay my project on it like so. Okay, and so I want to center this as much as I can in a small hoop. All right, so that looks good. And then I'm just going to put my large hoop over it. Okay, and then I'm just going to tighten it back up, and it's simply just turning the dial again like we did. You really want to make sure this is tight, that it's taut, and it's not as taut as I want. So after I'm done tightening this up, I'm just going to gently pull the fabric. Gently pull, and it's not moving. So that is perfect. And then while you're working on it throughout the project, you can always go through and just gently pull to tighten it, to tighten the fabric. Okay. Oh, fun. And then you want to decide which side you want to be the front. Do you want the smooth side where you're pushing your needle in, where the thread is laying flat, or do you want the textured side? It's up to you. I always want the texture. So, and that will make a difference where you end your thread to go to a different color. Since I want the textured side where the loops are to be the front, when I change colors, I'm going to pull my thread through the back, and then I can cut it there and then start again. So I'll only have a couple threads coming up the front side that I'll just need to trim, and they will hide within the loops. All right, so I'm gonna get started on his face, because his face is using the black floss. So this here, pull my thread back, is the dial. Or the adjustable. This'll determine how long. If you want your needle this long, your loops are going to be long, okay? If shorter, I do like to put it on the second notch here, the second notch, and they're the perfect size loops. Push my needle through, you see it coming out, and then I'm going to pull the thread out. And this is one of those things where you're going to have the tail. You're going to have the tail hanging out in the front. And then what I'm going to do is hold on to the tail, lift my needle all the way out, straight out, and just go to about an 1/16 an 1/8 of an inch, and then push it back through until the needle stops, and then pull it back out, okay? And then I'm going to hold that loop going back in, straight in, coming straight out. And then we're just going to keep going with that. So those are the pros and cons to using that tool. I'm going to post my social media sites in the description, because I'm going to be posting some close-ups of my work, my first one, and then also doing doing other projects with it. If you're looking for a new craft, this one's addicting. So every other month, I'm going to be trying a new craft. So I can't wait. I'm excited. But try it yourself. None of this, I'm not getting sponsored for any of this. This is just my personal opinion. Let me know what you think if you do decide to try it. And if you have a different punch needle tool, I do like the adjustable punch needle tool. I do like that. So I'd rather have an adjustable, but if there's a different one that you like better after trying a couple different tools, let me know. Let us know in the description, and I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Take care.